all for coming. I am so pleased to see everyone coming out for this event to listen to Neten Rinpoche. I am Wendy Almek, the Numata Chair in Buddhist Studies. If any of you would like to be on the list of announcements for our talks, please. Jackie, can you circulate a piece of paper from your notebook? Sure. Thank you. Please sign up on this sheet with your email, and then I'll add you to the list. First of all, we acknowledge and honor the traditional territories of the Blackfoot and Treaty 7 people, including the Siksika, the Piikani, the Gaina, the Tsuut'ina, and Stoney Nakoda First Nations. Calgary is also home to the Métis Nation of Alberta, Region 3. Thank you for the privilege of working, learning, and living on this land, and blessings on this land. Today we are very, very pleased to have as our speaker His Eminence Neten Rinpoche. His Eminence is recognized by His Holiness the Dalai Lama as the 9th reincarnated Tulku Neten Rinpoche, Lama-Abbot of the Jungpa Monastery in Lithang, Tibet, and please forgive me if I'm mispronouncing anything. He received his Ph.D. degree, Geshe Lharampa, which is very high level, in Buddhist Sūtras from SeraMey Monastic University in South India, and an advanced degree in Buddhist Tantra, Ngagrampa, from Gyumed Tantric Monastery. He was a teacher at SeraMey Monastic University and Gyumed Tantric Monastery, and is the founder abbot of Jamse Choling here, Dharma Center here in Calgary and also in Toronto. He is the first throne holder of the Gelug Monlam-Canada. His Eminence resides in Toronto but travels extensively across the globe, giving teachings to religious, educational, and social institutions. We are very pleased to have him with us today to talk about how karma works from a Tibetan Buddhist perspective. So, great.
다다르데 칼그레리아 아니 기겐남바레 다갈나시 롭두레 안다 유니버시티인데 아니 주란쪽에 맞저데 용조아 다 고급체바들라 아니 닝타바네 투지시슈아 두신스.
So first I just tell you my name is Mai Phương Nguyen. I come from Toronto. So I'm here to help His Eminence to translate, but he speaks English very well just in case that is I can help him. So, and His Eminence just said that he's very pleased and happy to meet you here, on professor and on the member and on the participant who come here today. And he, from the bottom of his heart, he's really pleased and say hello to everyone.
Thank you very much. Yeah. 아니 가보시라 정성.
So he's very pleased to meet you.
Yeah. 다 계셔서 말아서 다지 안다 게라다 그래서 코틱신에다 참말로가니 믹스들이 레고르야 아니지 라브로치스 송바레 다가능시에 당가서 레고르나 마두시나 아니 말아서 바 쉬야다 안 쳐나서 제로 과신샤 안도스인다스.
So the professor Adami and the organizer request Rinpoche to give the teaching on the subject of how karma works in the Tibetan Buddhism, and he will talk about karma, and we will have time for the question and answer.
그래서 다들은 먼저 디스커스 샤레만도 예 믹스액디 말 teaching 말스 디스커스레다스.
So it's not the teaching today, but this is for discussion.
아, 그래서 다 개체시에 단다 고난주고 레고 순구여바래 레사데 나란주 쪼데 가발 때는 인구여바래서 다 용선에 마셔 당보된 나라서 가르스 한번 따라서 대화다 동에스 대화도 동해들라 때디 칼라되는 중국어로서는 레알되는 중국어래. 그래서 당분간도 대화도 동해는 가서 관계기 하고로 봤어. 디 가발되는 중국어로서는 레알되는 중국어 봐. 두스레스.
Even the subject is we talk about the karma, but before we talk about the karma, we need to explain, we need to understand where come from our happiness and the suffering. We need to know that all the happiness and suffering, it come from the karma. So that's why we explain a little bit, how we achieve the happiness and the suffering.
Andres. 다 근데 인상 아주 happiness suffering 하나 저도 다들 용서 주디 야고진 하고 봐이나 suffering happiness 동사하고 다 주디 가서 아니 레주자고 하고 봐이나 땡 안주 그 동해디 까야게 다 간다 구급들도 이유가 두스레스.
Anything happen is depend on a cause. On the happiness, the suffering is the cause. The main cause is the karma. So if we understand that, we will be able to stop anything that goes as a suffering.
왕도스레스. 다 개취쇼 가라서나 배나 낭배 슝으로서나 산제 당부 취 송변내고 댐바시 송여로 와서 다 전화서 하고 그래. 댐바시나네 당부 가르 송바서나 동해 댐바싱이 당부 송바레스. 니버들 디 용야게 동해 용사도 가바레스 당가서 들에 니 기불 해피니스라 말로 제 동행을 망하시고 그래. 그래서 동해 댐바도 가네 연구에 와서나 아니 요 군중 댐바 연구에서 아니 레다 뉴몽스 두신 연구에 바레스.
So in Buddhism, the first thing that if we understand the happiness and the suffering, first we need to understand the first teaching of Buddha, that in Four Noble Truths. And the Four Noble Truths, he explained first the suffering, and then the origin of the suffering. We need to know about that.
The first suffering that come from the connection and kunjun yomare, dukshin and kunjuniba, and dusin go.
And the suffering, it comes from the ghost, that means the origin of the suffering.
Dusres. 다 당봉가주 동해싱야한테 계신분도 왔어. 동해대 마시나? 아니 딱딱 되면 레스 하고베네 동해대 아버지는 한마고는 연구매버래. 동해대 가라서 냐버도 신구고요 버래. 다 가라서로 동해 뒤주는 가라서 동해 몽부시다. 둔두고 이내야 동해 가랑 간단지 무슨 투고요 버래. 아 밀래야 동해 몽부치나서 무슨 투 하고 투고요 버래.
So it's important to understand the karma, but first of all we need to understand the suffering. The suffering is for everyone, it's not just for human being, even the animals they suffer the same way.
There are no some suffering there. 그래서나 서프린리야 아니 가라서 동해기 동해서야제도 봤어. 주에 동해서야제 요바래. 차버도지기 동해서야. 근데 맨다도 왔어.
So there are the three main suffering amongst all the suffering, that is the suffering of the suffering that we experience every day, and the suffering of change, and the pervasive suffering.
그래서 다 가라서 동해기 동해서야돼. 다 미기 하고 요바래. 튼두게 하고 요바래. 빼는 튼두도 저양 저거 또도 삼바 칼라사가 도신기를 가라서 그 동해지 세약 탑시 있던 거예요. 동해도 세약 탑시 있던 거예요, 말했어.
So suffering of suffering that everyone understand, even the animal they understand. For example, when we are hungry, or when they are hungry, that is the suffering. So they looking for something to release that suffering. So even the animal they understand.
this to us. 빼나 건조 저거 또발라 써봐. 아니 장하다. 사와도서 아니 배나 정두 삼바 아니 사회 lumbal로 도신기도 와. 배나 가서 캐나다기 자디 구스를 구스도 대장 캐나다 장고시고 차도 삼 따고 대화지 세계에 바로 아니 사와마 피제 다파 lum바 초보든들 도신기도 왔디. 대화지 세계로 가서 동행기 장외 동행도 파 매버서 두스레스.
And the animal they understand the suffering. For example, in Canada we have a lot of geese. When the weather is cold, they move to the warmer place. So, they know how to find a way to release the suffering.
다 밀레샤시는 가라서 미 정말로 하고 그러면 아주 고나야, 저거도야, 장야, 세야, 강강 아주 하고는 때 니스야 탑시 땅조 강변의 장야도 저 세야 탑시를 아니 히트서고요. 버리 강바서고 그래서 동해지세야 탑시 독스탄 거요. 그래서.
And as a human being like us, when we have the headache, then we find a way to release that suffering. We also looking for the warm place, and if it's too hot, we go to the cool place. So we always find a way to help us to avoid that suffering. Like we build a house, we made the AC, or we create the heat example.
then medicine 망고 써보라 매 망고 써보디 먼저 나자 당도 삼바 나자 잘 매 써보도 와 Dizu dunghe meba swa ngazu tabji rinpa dusres.
And a lot of medication was built because we understand the sickness. So you can see that this is the suffering of the suffering that we all understand.
This is tanibadi juwe dunghe sige yores.
And the second suffering is the suffering of change.
Ta karasana ngaranzo mangbuchi karasana ngazu hakowe mebre ngaranzo ke deware sangbu yobare. Bena ngazu hita meda 다 등사 meda kala mangbuchi ngaranzo ke 다 내고 temporary 대화 시버 들려야 주로에 동해서 랑신디 동해래 되면도 대화를 이게 매버렸어.
So the suffering of change is, for example, that a lot of things change all the time. Even we create the medication, we build the heat and everything. This is for the change that it helps us to go away from that suffering.
들어봤어. 배나 단다 칼라 망부라야 된다는 좀 케미컬이시네. 푸드 칼라 망부 속으로 왔어. 배나 싱도라 소바 망부서 두서가 칼리 한다 홉대당 먼저 대화도 붙이 여버때 칼리 동행 올라 파도도 왔어.
You can see even the food, we're looking for the good food. We want to have the happiness. We pleased with the food, but now many chemical, the food is full of chemical. Now we eat the food is very good, but slowly this will become harmful and cause the suffering.
Now look like happiness. That's temporary. Nature is suffering there. Nature suffering. Then maybe slowly too many food. There are the many chemical. Our eat slowly suffering becomes suffering, and then sickness, cancer, many things come. That's changing. Those is okay. My English.
Yes.
아니 다 나라도 몽고를 매를 차샤게네 매든 아주 동해직 매버서고도 왔더나 고르지 나베나 고매 망보사네 그러시는 고매디게야 동해랑 신신가 헛다는 고매사나 고가 나서 차버래 대화지 두고요 그래 진주지 이네 고 걸리 동해 차네 망타나 고 걸리 동해 차 나서 신달리기도 와 튀기도 와 then rangshing dewa map dusres.
So you can see that even the happiness is by the nature, the suffering is there. For example, if you have the headache, then you take the medication to release that sickness. But if you take a lot and then you overdose, and then you can see that the medication is not helpful anymore. So no, and then they will create the problem later. So you can see that by the nature, the happiness we have that include the suffering there. So the suffering will grow.
Also include food. Kaladia, mangusana, anzo sobolia, matrobo, mango in good was, Nasa mango in good was, Kali tunge chagodoas, they were digging in the was.
So the same for food, we need food, so that is the happiness. But with the food, sometimes it can cause a problem, and then slowly, then it's become, the harmful factor of, our suffering.
다 말아서 디제데 강가 동해도 산다 차바 뒤쪽에 동해서 다른 거 믹스해 드시 자고매 들이야 다 망부 잡잖아 아니 말아서 또다 직당 만주고 가르서나 풍부 찐지시고요 봐 애원 민들 찐지고 다당어도 풍부 때나 로충주이나 걸리 찐신이 동해랑실 파두고도 왔어 들이야 아니 차바 뒤쪽에 동해서 두스레.
So the third suffering is pervasive suffering. That means that every day, every moment that we have a kind of change, and it leads to the suffering. When we was young, we have a healthy, but slowly with the time, we get older, we get the sickness, all kind of things will change, and then we experience a lot of suffering.
Yeah, that's our...
Because our body with the aggregate that always it will be deteriorated by time, that's with right. The time.
아주 소부디 one second change going. That is suffering. Yes, on the rest. 다 개체셔 다 동해디제 된 것도 하고 봐체. 다 먼저 happiness 뒤에 가는 용어잖아. 주지를 때는 거요. 그래. 동해대 주지를 때는 거만도 주 매바체네 영화 매버레스 먼저 낭박이시나 주지를 때는 정말 줄을 때는 거요. 주 매바 말레스.
So the happiness also is have a goals for us. Everything happen is come from a goals.
다들 가발 때는 용어를 쓰는 아주 레 생각들 아니 대화대야 기회를 되는 중화 동해대야 미개를 되는 레 용어야 두스레스.
So because when we create the bad karma or negative karma, the result is the suffering. When we create a good action, that means a good karma, then is the consequence that we get the good happiness. So you see that everything comes from a cause.
두스레스. 다 역도가가 레를 도와. 다 레들 지단에 가라서 레라 망부 시부지요 그래 야와 망부 시부지요 그래서 때나 레 녀바 레 폐체와 레 마체바다 미제바 레 체바 추미세바 또 레들이야 레 시도 시다 레를 잠깐 망부요 그래서
When we talk about the karma have many form of the karma that we can get, but the few factor, the main thing is like karma is certain. That means it will happen. And the second one is karma is magnified greatly. The third one is one doesn't meet a consequence if he hasn't commit any action. And the last one is once the karma is performed, it will never lose its power.
다 레녀바잖아. 만안쪽을 빼나 레녀바 디더버스. 빼는 거죠. 진리나 시베. 마 시벤지 떠버이나 야 데부들 시벤 중거로만도 야 데부 에브링고 말아와스. 링시 레 가르삼네 수수 레 독자에서티 데부들 동해진 거요 봐. 레 야보스는 디 데부들 대화 중거 디 땅땅 예버만도 호 젠지시기 매버스. 두서스.
So first the karma is certain. That means any action produce a similar consequence. So for example, if you plant a seed of the chili, then the fruit it will be chili. You cannot expect the apple it come out as the production. So whatever you plant, that is the result will be the same.
황두스레스 다들 레 녀바스게데. 그래서 다 녀바들야 가라서 레 페와당다 레직 사바이나 디 콜랑아조 다 낭박 슝치는 샥바치고 그래 필피신치고 디 마체베 샤바이나 레디 데부티야 페주고요 그랬어요. 고 깨가도 마소는 레네 베나 뱅네 빼샤지 야바이나 빼샤들랑아조 인도레스데 파 주마데비나 파 마데비나 콜 인도레스 망두고 딜릉신신에 페주고요 그랬어 레스야데.
So the second is the karma is magnified greatly. That means that we need the purification. When we create a negative karma, that is will have the consequences for sure. If we don't purify our negativity, then that result will be great. Will be great after. Like if you borrow a lot of money from the bank, and if you don't pay the bank, so the interest will grow up, and one day is your debt is bigger than the first loan that you borrow.
된장아조 낭박이 아니 레 충주지네야 고 샤빠치고 그랬어. 자주 매버렸어. 장난 콜레디 침부 차두고요. 봐. 두시고요 버렸어.
So that why even the small negative action we do, we need to purify right away. If we ignore it, then it will become great later.
두스레스. 베나 하시 직접선의 춘주로 왔어. 이게 아버지 샤바 마치는 코처처처 정력도 처처처 누구도 왔어. 그도 직버렸어.
So for example, the harsh speech, if it even it's just a small a few words that you say, but it's become harmful, and then later on it will cause a lot of problem.
두스레스. 근데 두 처처 누구요 버렸다. 단이 니바 수바티 가서 레 마체보다 매려 수수 독자 레 싸매베나 디 데부 용고 매버렸어. 가라서나 먼저 빼샤베나 때나 수나미 레버체네 미 망부지 수나미기 킨이 시버려야 가시 신도지도 마마시버 도도신나 하딩이데 도와스 지다신의 시고하르데 뭐지 하는데도 와 가시 아니 원타데 망부도 와 example.
So another kind of karma that is if it's one if the one doesn't meet the consequence if he had not committed any action. So for example, the tsunami, you see that many people die in tsunami. It's a really harmful thing, creating it that happened. Big thing is happened, but it's still somebody survive. Something is still survive. It's not everyone die in that problem. So you can see that if the person doesn't create any action, that doesn't have to pay the consequence for whatever happened.
The example tsunami 지보시고 earthquake 망부용도 사바 다 가시베 강배와나 보라 렘데네야 마십지수 도용부도 왔어. 근데 망부도 왔어. accident 잡아다. 근데 망부도 왔어. 통주.
So you can see even the earthquake also is somehow it's collapsed, but it's still some is survived. So you can see that is the example of what I have taught.
디 le chebata ne le mashebe yanza ko hiya le de sa me yanza le de tege me do seres.
So if we don't create that karma, then it's the consequence. We don't meet that consequence.
Do seres. Ta sumba de le cheba chu ma sebas. Ta nganzu singdo do be na ko ma sebe chen sha ni me ju dwa yo res. Le la de ruya me bare le ji sa sha be na ko le shakba ma cheba che du sha ge na ko ruya me bare khanda ko de de yo res. Ta ni me ji ken je de che na ani ya ki yung yo bare. Ben sen do be ke khang ba ji na sha ni me chu de na ki ring do wa de lu shi ruya chu ne me ba che che de ge yo du sere de res.
And another kind of karma that means this the karma one is performed, then it will never lose the power. For example, if you plant a tree, maybe if you put a lot of water or any bad condition, maybe the tree will die because the root will be, destroyed. But the karma, no. Once you plant a karma, then the karma stay there all the time. And then when a good condition, a condition that meet with that karma is driven, then it will grow.
Do seres. Ta condition mangbo yore ta good karma yana ya good condition to ya yore bad karma yana bad condition to ya yore ani kro abim gores tu sir.
So is that why is that if it with the situation the condition is happen to that, and if it happen to the bad karma, then the bad karma will grow. If it's found on the good karma, then it's the good result will happen.
다 오나 karma singhe de condition yung barasana karma singhe de ya chil te ni yung gores de khala yung goresana gewe karma chida migewe karma ning go de nigal khaba te ni yung goresana ani nganju semla te ni yung gore semla te ni yung go yores.
So the karma is also the good karma and the bad karma, but where it come from? The main thing it come from our mind.
ha do sre ta sem dire do wa ta sem de la kharasana pena sem yabo ngara zo chamba 상보 아니 베나 셈 상보 왔다 닝지 딘데 셈디 아니 굿카마 소니게 셈데레 되어 디 데부들이야 디기 용고요 봐 온도 시에고요 봐 두스레스.
So if you have it's on the compassion, loving kindness, honesty, and good mind, this will bring you the happiness. If you use that kind of mind, that is the good consequence will happen to you as a happiness.
Do sige bares. Ta ngarazo keche ani morality. Sigwa sutim. Ta sutim de la manda doa yapo de doa. Tizulu teni ani good karma chagyo di debudela ani digi yungu yobas. Good karma sore good karma debudela digi yungu yoba do seres.
That's the reason we always talk about the morality. The good morality is for what? Because when we do everything according to the good morality, that we will be happy.
On do seres. Ta 이상 안저 류권의 수림송야 나권의 수림송야 이권의 수림송야 근데 유발했어.
When with the good morality or the virtue is can be based on the three things is body, speech, and mind.
독신고 유발했어. 다음은 알아서 동해 용사되게 아니 미개 원래 된 인구스 그래. 다 메가 원래 당도 손이 소리서는 간주 셈래 셈 가래 간주 주기 콘도 나제 차도 내자 셰다 왔다 늦을 때는 아니 동의인 거예요. 봐. 독스레스.
And also it comes from the mind that create the suffering. For example, is anger, hatred, attachment, jealousy, all kind of things like that. It comes from our mind, and the consequence for that is the suffering.
독스레스. 땅 알아서 단다. 땅에게 아니 배낭 안주고 다지 겨왕아마다 치매 깨지시면 단당 알아서 통무유 통대바들이야. 아니 룽베나라 먹도 용야 룽베나라 기보매봐 근데 된 연구도서는 용사 자와디 셈레도와 셈 컨트롤 때네 마자비야 차돌 때네 마자비야 아니 베나 다만다 데카르데는서나 말한쪽이 셈된 연구도와 셈 유문들 된 연구도와 두스레스.
And we don't talk about the karma or the suffering come from the past life. We don't talk here. It's just in this present life we experiencing all kind of suffering because of the war. So it comes from the mind. When the mind is full of anger, hatred, jealousy, and all other negativities, then we create so many harmful acts. That is the war, and then a different form of suffering that we experiencing every day.
Then allows the Shanda Alama Lambese, one family, Nanglola, Midi, Hashi of love. On Daganashi, Konda Sasana, 아니 나라서 happiness 간가 디스트리시기도 와. 디 까마 벨 까마 소제 이 데부들 동해 연구도 와. 두랑우 통주도 와.
You can see even in the small environment like our family, if you get angry all the time, then you destroy the happiness of the family. That is the consequence of your negative act that everyone receives the unhappiness.
다 연장 나라서 참바 닝지 뒤술 때는 아주 관계식의 happiness 연구를 동해 연구를 쓰고 말아. 상말로 될 아니 happiness 연구여바디 상말로 연구도 와.
And if you live with the loving kindness, the compassion, or is the good attitude, then you can see that we receive the happiness. Nobody say that is the good mind goes the suffering.
근데 지금 다야직 상마 도파 참바 닝지셔버네 happiness 민도스. 카시에 가르사는 미 약보시부터 콜레 동해 망보신고도스나 대양 가라조 가르사는 가서 낭배숑네 겨왕아마 싱에지 켈링게 요버레스.
Somebody can argue and say that, oh no, somebody very, very good, but why that person suffer all the time? So, but in Buddhism, we talk about this is the consequence of the negative action goes in the past life that is now written in this life. Even he or she very good person in this life, but they still receive the consequence.
아니야 미스들은 용체 다야 생해지요 봐. 두시기요 버레스.
So that's why it's a need to purify from that.
No preparation after next life come back. Need the preparation very important. This is. 다 다가는 시야 카시 독자 시부치네. 야지기 약부로 지용되는 정도 통되게 돼야 딱딱 말했어. 그래서 아주 겨왕아만에 아니 레 약보셔버던데 대부양 야츠들 미야데 인고레 이노고 조라요 대아메 굿카마 얘네 조아요 버레 백카마 얘네 조아요 버 대아메 두서레스.
And the same we can say that somebody is very very bad, but how come he's all the time happy and everything he wishes he has? This is also the consequence of the karma that he had created in the past life, but it doesn't mean that he happy and good for the whole life. If he use it all the time, one day that good karma will be exhausted, and then he will receive the consequence of whatever he doing now.
This is 다들 원수 통주요 바래. 가서 미카셰 빼나 로충주갈 빼 속세포 시비차. 되는 빼 미스 약고차. 되는 간사진의 카이네스다 가행 수남 마사 없지는 아니 지면이야 동의시분 용량 망부도 왔어. 되고 까마딩야마도 저도 서프링 고주야 된데 인구도 왔어.
And we can see many people too when the young age they very good everything that he or she have done is very successful, and then he spend a good life of the young age, but with the time getting older, because he doesn't create more merit, doesn't create more virtuous action, then is that goodness is exhausted, and then consequent at the end of his or her life, he suffer.
다 다른 아주 개치시도 까마스기요 다 레망부시요 레 남다. 되네 용세 소데 까마스기 가능도 셈레되는 연구요 바데 알아서 하고도 와. 소소소소 셈레되는 연구를 만도 현다 셈되는 연구 매버레스. 소소 레디 소소라는 연구요 바래. 와다 인사 개침부디도 와.
So now you know that the karma is come from the main it come from our mind. So each person creates his or her own karma. It not come from the mind of other people or the karma of other people.
어디요? 다이네 야 참살 투묵을 내서야 되는데 이거 쪼디 소소랑 데레스.
Normally we can have also collected karma by the group, but still our own action, our own karma will give us our own consequence.
언덕스요 버레스. 다 개체식이 말한쪽에 레데 하코발 때는 당한주 셈 야고서야 돼 개시저도 왔어. 레소니도 셈레도 와. 다 셈로 소주 땅 거고도 와. 아주 까마싱 대부 동해싱 대부 동해디 가는 것은 주까마를 되는 거. 주까마 때 수수여 버렸으나 아주 유문고 쏘고요 버려. 아상 아주 유문가야. kondo ngaje thado dije de ka de manzu ke chishu deres.
So if we understand that, is we need to think about, how to train our mind, our own mind is very important, because we know that is the action can create a consequence, and all of this it come from a cause, and this cause it come from the ignorance, because we have the ignorance, so that's why our mind conduct in that way, and that we create a karma. So that's why we very careful control our anger, our jealousy, all the negativity to try to keep, a good mind.
그래. 딱 간주 happiness 고고 여버래. 간주 대화 고고 여버래. 강가로 동요 고고 매버 대화 고고래. 다 대화 영세 자와데서나 딱 간주 참바 닝지. 아니 샘상보. 아니 뭐라래도 추진 된데되는 거 다 디지든 간주 짜침 붙이는 야고. 이양나 automatic 카마 인고 여버래스.
So everyone wish to have the happiness, and nobody want the suffering. So if it really you want the happiness, then you have to maintain your mind. You have to train your mind in the positive way, with the morality, virtue, and compassion, love, and kindness. All of this will bring you the happiness, because that is your wish.
This is. 그래서 아니 디레신 다 저란조 투어트로시 가서 다리 디스커스인자 아니 저란조에야 파송아조 투어트리 시죠. 근데 아니 깨제 투어트로나.
So today I just give briefly, explain briefly about, how the karma works, and I leave a time for you for the question and answer. Yes.
I'm wondering if, Rinpoche, you could speak more about the collective karmic state.
Yeah, so
알레하 달레 도도 냠도 컨디션 그베스나 빼는 거라죠 직 현은 너밖에야 두두치세 미션다질 함치고고유나 내가서 다리 두두 냠도 제 빼는 팔비버 투게다 두두체 내가서 미직 너밖에가 땅바이나 너밖에들 미직 뭐도 매버대야 까마디 냠도 쓰여버렸어 가서 레디 냠도 쓰고여버렸어 다 약불에 다가는 시여버려
Mingapi. Yeah. So when we talk about the collective karma, so for example, 5 people together have some plan to harm another person. So even it's one person harm, but the karma is that 5 people. The 5 people have to receive the consequence, not just only the person who take the action, because they plan together to give a harmful act.
this is. Then, 먼저 둔두세바 얘네 직발에 망분냠도 지나 세나 참반냠도 까만냠도 사브르다스.
The same if we kill the animal, if we together in the group try to kill the animal, then the consequence is the group will receive the consequence. Yes.
So it seems like good karma and bad karma kind of relate to either pain or pleasure. But is that always the case? So, the story of Siddhartha, he escapes from his palace and he sees people suffering. And that in itself would be him suffering because he'd be empathetic to them. Now, would that be considered good karma or bad karma? Because that eventually leads to his enlightenment.
So thì con xong xong thì được nén thì được ba trên á, thì được nén luôn đấy, giặc bố trên á, thì bố dùng đấy, thì chích bố rồi đấy, xong là mi thì giặc bố trên thì nó giặc được nén rồi đấy.
삼살의 야보시네 동해 연구 요발 된대를 전하려고. 얘네 양 동해 용아디 야보디게 되고 말에 만아주 그레 줌레싱에디 겨와 멍부 여사 냠도 연구 요발에스. 그래서 동해 용아디 디제고 연구 요발에스. 얘네 홉데 따는 가지고 대화디게 되고 야보시에 되고 더비오데 디 말에 겨와가만 되는 두스레스.
So of course when we talk about when you create a good action, then the consequence is the good consequence that you get. When you create, the bad action, the suffering that you will receive. But in case that sometimes that you can do the good thing, but you still suffer because it's like I explained before, some consequence of the action in the past that you created can be ripped at that moment. It doesn't. It's not just related to that to action, like we just mentioned.
다 예발도 가서 야 레를 숨여 버렸어. 다 띵가서 하고고 여거래. 레를 통중 용죽래. 기내 용죽래. 렌다셜 용죽래. 디제 하고 봐야나 안때대야 레를 삼다 용죽래.
So, and also when we talk about the consequence also is depend on the three kind of consequence. One is maturation consequence, one is corresponding consequence, and one is environmental consequence.
다 통중 용죽래서는 아주 딕바산이 세대가라는 배나 미지기 배는 꼬마고 된대신 고 송가도는 아주 세대가라는 그 동네 통주로 레부디 되네 고 쪼버래. 이네 조 매버탄도 가져 연구이나 근데 레부디 고 차비 기냐봐요 말했어. 들어 통중 용중 무슨이 통하여 들으시게 버렸어. 미스디나.
So you can see the maturation is a consequence. For example, if you steal or you do something, negative act, then in royal way or in this lifetime, you receive the result royal way. It's start.
This our see that's one 통중 용주시. 다 기내 당부될 아니 기내 용주les. 기내 용주les 다 겨와니즘 디시니 겨와 치면은 반용된다 기내 용주les.
And another consequence of the karma is not happen right away in this lifetime, but it's maybe like 2 lifetime later that is happen.
Yeah. Next life.
Yeah. The next life is can happen.
That's it. 다 렌데셜 용주les 다 겨와니 편제 사실 레산이 겨와 나츠칭의 용녀, 인신 용녀, 자신의 용녀 다 담만다 저 렌데셜 용주les. 레 딘데 요버스 맨다.
And some karma can happen, it's later than it, 2 lifetime later or many lifetime later can be driven.
네 요버스. 다들 말아서 누가 앞에나 보고 가신 아메 코판이 기드네 아니 즉 핸디캡 제용녀도 그렇고 레게 제보래 미기베 레게 제보래 이내 다다 미지 딜라코 레 두자케 사메브데 그 겨왕가만에 막 쟁용하지 독스레 되버렸어.
For example, one being is come to this world like a child, then even is born as a child, but is that child is handicapped. So it's not because of the negative action that child have done. It's just born and handicapped right away. Is the consequence of the negative action that child have done in the past. So even it come to the world, just the first day is become handicapped already as a consequence.
독스레스.
Yes.
Yeah, so I have a question. Will karma pass to other people? Like say if the parents did something bad, will that pass to the children or vice versa? And the second question is karma certain? Like if you do something good karma, will it definitely happen like later, this life, next life, or several life later? Is it certain? So that's my 2 questions.
So thì chúng ta có thể nghĩ thì Pama đục chất trên nó phù thì đề phù rạc vậy đấy Pama anh nghĩ ba thì ngạc chích thanh chích lấy đục chất trên nó then lấy đi thì mi chỉ khang mi chỉ sẽ mà lấy đi nhớ rồi mi ba sẽ mà
yeah 다 dire pena Pama 독자 집에나 제부디 부글이 연구매버렸어. 소소소소 레사 그래. 이내야 파마 독자신이 부글에 간이 용하더니 거 디카라서나 파마다 부글이 냐만에 제와에 레기 된 템벌된 마 연구여 버려. 네 부글디기 파마 독자신이 부글들 정말 말이네. 그 레기 커넥션지 여버렸어.
So it's like I said that the karma for each person you cannot transfer that karma to other people. If the parent do something, then the children doesn't take the consequence. For the consequence from the parents, but because they have a good connection, big connection together to become in the family, whatever the parents doing have some influence of the children, and that can cause the consequence that the children can have that from that influence. But whatever the parent karma of the parent cannot, that cannot be the consequence for the children.
독스레스. 네 찍한 입을 가서. Second question, what's I forget?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. 다디 레선 겨와서 연구했어 그러봐. 다디 니 요브레. 소소 샤바 마체비치니 샤바 얘는 야와치마 연구레스 다 샤바치나 딜 다주여봐 두스레스 레 컨디션에 다 두고 여버레스
So normally if you create a karma and that you don't purify, it stay there for all the time. But if you purify the karma, if we purify, we have a chance to dismiss or eliminate that karma.
근데 낭바치나 아니 앙굴라 말라스다 페지 망시 하고 그러와스 앙굴라 말라기미 굽제 코쿠 세브르데야 미시들 코란 조바키 산제데 제 조바키 샥바치제 딕바타니 미지치라 다좀바 리버레이션 세방은 리주여바 두스레스
There is a real story about the Agulamala. He was the very bad person. He killed 999 people, and then when he had a chance to meet the Buddha, then he felt regret about his wrongdoing, and he purified all the time, confess and purify all the time his negativities, and then all his bad karma is eliminated, and he obtained the liberation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Can you say a little bit more about how purification works?
Yeah.
What one does to purify bad karma?
Yes. 다 샤바치야 된 것도 계시뭐 샤바치단들라 안 딕바 샤바치단들 톱시고네 샤바치나 다 딕바 컨디션에 다고 유스고 버려 톱시디 아주 계시뭐도 서레스
For the process of purification, we use 5 foxes for the purification.
어디 계시뭐 당보도 가르서나 땡기 톱 니바디 남바 순지메 톱 순바디 아니 가르서나 니무군도 줘베 톱 시바디 니발라 라르토베 톱 톱시 온다 디레스
So the first is the reliance of fox or support fox. The second is uprooting fox, and the third one is the fox of turn back from on the wrongdoing and regret of that on the misdeed, and the last one is the fox of antidote.
다 가라서는 당부도 땡겼다 없어 당간주 다른게 부디즘 기대시들 당간아주 부디즘 능신신이 쉬고이니 가라서 땡겼다 없들 개체셔데 만화도 산제의 창주선바 다 산제의 지가도 군도 접송스라다 군조숨로 소바 두주 군도를 샤파체 안셈상보 창주sem 곰 어딘데시나 땡겼다 없두스레 딘뉴바 시셔드레스
So for the Buddhism, we use the first fox. It's called reliance fox or support fox. That means we rely on the 3 jewels, Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and we try to generate all the time the bodhicitta. That means the enlightenment mind for the benefit of all the sentient beings. So that is the first fox we need to apply during the process of purification.
다 니바데 가르서나 아니 저바고 그랬어 딕바사나 저바면은 딕바 타가 말했어 저바 리그르티 앞에 시부지 딥페나 성이랑 알아서 베나 류기 소자바이나 독주지가 소자바이나 까마치게 대투고 말아봤어 스킨 까마치게 흘려 대투고 달음 잠매 책을 가르네 되게 딜릉 시시sem나 리그르 슉슉 시부지 고고요 봐 그랬어 리그르 슉슉면은 딕바시라 다 투고 말했어
So the second fox is the uprooting fox. So that means that we need to regret of what the wrongdoing we have done in the past. The regret is very important. So and then is you need to purify because it comes from that regret, and you really want to purify it. It's like right away. For example, if a snake bite you, you don't just leave it like that. You right away you hurry to go to find a way to take out of that poison. So that is the you need the regret of the wrongdoing.
Very strong regret, very, very deep. The case is this very important. Regret is so, purification so. Regret deep, purification deep. This is. 다인자 the case 모두 와. 다 숨바들라 가라서는 당 가라서 아니 지 소소 디파 다 된다 아니 몇 미쪽으로 놓바치야. 아 차리티지야. 다도 디파 다 된다. 근데 시토나 아니 싫어하는 거래. 아니 양아라서 지 다 망부여 그랬어. 배나 다 낭바치는 산지 생활당 차츠야. and most of the same sambogom charity in the Shitubayana and Shidak Pendo Yobuduses.
And the third force is the antidote, the force of antidote. That means we find the way to create the virtue, to do the good thing. That, for example, you can do the charity, you help the poor people, or you help the needed people. As a Buddhist, we recite the mantra, we do the prostration, we do all kind of practice and try to cultivate a good mind, a kind-hearted mind and a compassion, and all of this that to help to create the virtue, create the merit to eliminate the negativities.
Oh, this is that one the country last the country course and a time. Oh, that Jamanga Chigime, Dongsim the Gogoromando, Dongsim Mena, Shingi Loma Chenea, Yangju Kim, Zawa Yangju Kim was. And the
last force is the force of turning back from the wrongdoing and promise that we'll never repeat that wrongdoing again. So this is very important to avoid to repeat again that negativities. It's like you need to cut from the root. If the tree and if you cut the branch, as soon as the root is still there, it still grow up. So if you don't stop that negativities, then it have a chance to grow.
Look, last summer have a lot of grass. You send the machine cutting the top one. After a few weeks, after come back, again you go to need the cart. That's the root here. That's no killing yet.
You need to cut from the
last
root.
one root cart. That's important. Dealing series. In a young Manzu whole life been a mystic chicken messade, Manzur Kale Kapu Shidare, in a to Jun Labu, one of the day by day chicken messade, Keshishores.
So if you say, oh, the whole life I don't do any negativities, that is maybe difficult. So I tell you to daily practice. You practice one day at a time.
Today, I never do. Again, tomorrow coming, I never do. That's promise, one day by day promise. That's our life is easier one and the best one. Whole life, our thing, too difficult me. This it is.
Thank you for your talk today. My question is about how karma operates between one life and the next, and in particular, if the actions of one life can affect a later life. To what agent or entity is karma adhering to that connects the point of death and the point of birth?
Con đọc xong thì lễ cái meeting nó mai em lễ tìm đi the triple the meeting đi chơi quá cả đấy then it carry the care.
다디 개침보래요. 그래서 나랑도 미지 디기 류부들라 류부 락바래. 맞죠 셈네 셈 락바스야죠 그래. 셈 락바디 미지들 샤는 드와래 류부 락바데 미지들 샤는 드와래 뭐도 깨와치면 키야라게 매. 얘는 먼저 깨와치면 돈이 먼저 셈 참으죠. 디 깨와치면 두고 디냠도 코로나 파 잔이 두고 때나 팀을 응시시세. 때나 고바도 지나 잘라도 고바면에 고베 팀을 냠도 막히니 잘라딘도 두고도 하는 시시는 냠도 되는 거요 그래. 만도 그 레디 아니 박장으로 징징구요 그래. 두스래.
So he said that is like you say the karma can be the carry to the next life or to another life. So in our life we have a gross mind and gross body. So the gross mind and gross body, one after the death, like we leave this behind. Only the subtle mind that is we carry to the next life with all the good or better karma. So is that why in that subtle mind will determine our next life. It's like you have the garlic, in this cup you have the garlic, but the smell of garlic go everywhere. But this cup is not because you carry this cup that you can smell the garlic. Even it's here, you over there you can smell the garlic.
Yes, is that being look like?
Yeah, that means you leave behind your ghost body and mind.
Yeah, a lot of people in my community, I'm First Nation, and we have a lot of people that abuse, sexually abuse or mentally abuse or spiritual abuse. How much can we help those kind of people? How much, what way can we show them compassion and without getting too involved. You know, when do we step in? When do we step out? You know, so I'm curious about
다 말아서 닝지기 배주시하여 봐. 닝지고네 룰스하여 봐. 딜람스하여 봐. 닝지군나네 히트더보다 룽더 많이 버전. 퍼가라라 펜심 군네 랑시아 콘돌 펜도 가르치고 사니 딜람스하다. 베나 아람마둥이야게 딜람테야 딘디용하여 버레스.
So it's like when you can have a compassion and you have a, you know, it's a kindness, you think how to change it. But all of this need to have the discipline, need to have a you need to create a good way to benefit these people. You don't create because you get angry or you apply the anger or apply on the rule to, you know, to break them. But you need to find a way with your love, the compassion, with discipline, find a good way to help them to change. That the compassion should be in that form. Even if you cannot talk, you talk and nothing change. But if you come with a good method, how to help them to change that way, then it's very important.
대치그래. 나 학년은 가서 아메코반에 끼 찾아서 부구지라 아니 변화 창라 동야로 써봐. 미개의 지하 된대기 박자춘이 요 말했어. 다들 매일간 부구 춘주디 제가서 짜천부터 야포시는 인지군에랑 공조를 패섬 그런 야고하디 맞아 개시시 the next generation the yapo yongati tapshidan kechimbuji kre there is.
You can educate the young child at the beginning. When they come to the work, they don't have any bad habit. So it's very important the education and the good guide at the beginning. Teach them to be a good person, kind person. So this is the next generation that we hope for. So that's why we have to apply this method right away when the people is still young and it's easy to change the behavior. This is for the future, next generation. Yes.
Speaking of change and these times, how can we purify our bad karma faster? Can he recommend 3-4 ways to do it?
단지는 포 안디토리와 근데 내가 미게 어찌가 장가지 없어. 강제. 다 디지도 오네게 레도 자서 섬들 드르 가주 숙차 봐. 아니 저랑 게와도 비아지게. 배나 심상부친 밀펜도시기 내다. 야 직소수겠다 낭바이나니 아니 메타망고 여바래. 안디 마네야 아주 셈바상보시야 실라 펜도샤 된대잖아. 디바 다그 여바도 스레스.
So you need to remember, you know, how many wrongdoing that you have done. Try to remember and really you regret of that negative action in the past, and from that and you decide to do a good thing like charity or do whatever that can benefit others with the regret mind that you have. So this will help to purify the negativity. For the Buddhists, we have a lot of method to practice according to, you know, the Buddhist teaching.
emptiness 야 망부시어 다 뜻을 다른 것도 좀 먹어시겠어.
And also we can apply the emptiness, but like we don't talk about emptiness here.
아니 네 개체셔야 오 charity 지스서 오 니들라다 많이 네 고고 매버래. 소소라 유베 류가 이숨네 아니 charity 지토나 대학 쇼드레스. 야마직 배샤명의 지통은 네 말했어. 소소 나고네 charity 샤르 소 류기 로파시버는 charity 샤요 바래. 샘상고고네 charity 샤요 바래.
And don't think that I cannot do the charity because I don't have money. So the charity is not based on the material. You can have the charities done by your body, speech, and mind. Like your body, you go there, you help people. You use your body to help people, to bring them, you know, the benefit. The speech, you have a kind speech. And you say something that help people to relieve the suffering. And from your mind, you always try to cultivate the goodness. So this is the charity. It's not necessarily only in terms of money that you can do the charity.
That's I have the good mind, good speak, then helpful body. That's the best one charity. Sometimes money lot to give to, mind is not very good. No real charity. Real charity is come from heart, mind. That's the best important main thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So attachment is apparently one of the causes of suffering, or attachment to the fruits of your actions. So I'm just wondering, in the scenario where you're attached to the good karma that you generate, where does the suffering come in?
Yeah. So the chitang ito tochak they do can do it. Kini yang na tang da ni yapot. Cha go bi ti tochak. Tochak and this na ni yapot go ti ti pu ka.
다 지당은 좀 미야고 차고야 될 니어를 되자 임바당 안 되자 많이 많이 우리 그니 믹스 차인 거요 그래 합되다나 먼저 야고대 배나 되자당 저와싱은 저 잡아요 그래 얘네들 저 찍바 말했어 되자당 저와서 찍바 말했어.
Yeah. So it's like sometimes it's like we talk about a person with attachment and no attachment. It's so clear. Sometimes it's a mix of between, but we need to understand what kind of attachment that we are doing.
답에 수수 찍고 야고 차고도 현달에 안기 당부 차고도 sana 되자랬어. 되자가 들어도 그래. 다 그래서는 미 현달라 베네피치알라 수수 삼보다는 야고 차나 그 오토매틱 야고 연구여 버렸어.
So, for example, if you really wish that you become a good person, but if in your mind say that because I'm a good person, that the other people is lower than me, then this is attachment because you wish for a good thing for you, but you despise others. But if you wish that you can be good, because I can bring benefit to others, whatever I have that can be beneficial to others, this kind is not attachment, This kind is effort to do to make sure that you are a good person because you want to give the benefit.
So then good action alone is not sufficient for good karma. It's you require good intention simultaneously.
Yeah, so yeah. So it's very important. This is the karma goes by the mind because it's the mind is the crucial. The mind creates everything. On the action based on the attitude is the mind, your mind.
That's why mind is very, very important.
When I meditate at home and I'm by myself in my shrine, I feel happy and joyful. And around certain people, I feel like maybe they're negative, right? Negative energy or people of negative energy. So is that my own bad karma coming to fruition, or is it that person's negative energy?
Energy mission dani yung by the bed and it nari ni sablore.
타디 가르스나 다니 여봐라. 저다 소소 그나 미망부 연나 소소 메디테이션 컴포터블 메바데니 용고 여봐라. 다 지금 망부데 안다 가란조 토마르 인자 아니 미망부 님돌로 메디테이션 샤조 테스 칼레 하고 마인드 컨트롤 샤조 칼레 하고 요때 마게 차든데 용고 여봐라.
So we don't talk about the energy here. Sometimes you alone, you happy, but when you are with people, sometimes you find the difficulty to meditate because the presence of other people with all kind of action can disturb your mind or distract your mind. It's not a kind of energy, but that's a distraction that can influence your concentration.
그래서 토마는 거나도 샘 템포 마샤 콜라 메디테이션 소소 세퍼레트 치나 야고 요버레스 레 하와 요버레스.
So but if you try to do that beginning, you stay alone and you try to concentrate, it's easier for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
So, Rinpoche, is it always most effective when we're applying the antidote to have deep regret at the same time that we're applying the antidote? Like, say, if we're doing prostrations as an antidote, would we be cultivating deep regret as well at the same time as doing the prostrations.
So bên nào thì số thì chơi ba cái bên chơi ba thì mình sắp ba chế thì mình chặt chém chế nhằm tô giặc bộ giống gì vậy.
야부 요버래 베네 착세베 내부 딕바 다 해도 꾸누당 도마 니에 다리 착세야디 딕바 다 제도 인삼바 베네 100 하 포스티진 지기니 딕바 다 해도 아수수 꾸누디 도마 딕바 다 해도 삼로 땅 인자 디 딕바 다 그래버레스.
The motivation is very important. If your motivation is that you want to purify the action that you in the past that you regret right now, and I say today I want to purify that negative action. Then I want to do the prostration. How many times? So you promise how many times to bow to Buddha, or you do the prostration with the mind regretting the wrongdoing. So it's very good. That is the motivation. It's very important.
Very, very important. You purification doing beginning, you good motivation. Maybe in the prostration time, sometimes you know really concentration. In the beginning, you have very good motivation. That's help you everything. That's very important.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. When my students hear about the doctrine of karma, one concern they have is if you think that someone's bad karma in the past or a past life is causing their suffering, that will decrease the motivation in the person who's thinking that to work on social justice. So if you think, oh, that's just their bad karma, we don't, there's nothing we can do. We're not trying to work on equality or helping, institutionally helping with suffering. So and then that's a problem that comes up in other contexts too. So how can we address this issue of social solutions as well as working on
justice legal system.
다디 지단기 레기 되버리 이내양 레용네 레디 까야데 가주 라발이 버레 밀러 로바 쳬베나 간주게 레 야고사 구급대 총바레스 딩이도 와스.
So it's of course when we talk about the karma and the consequence of what we have done, that's one thing. But also we can stop the karma too. It's in our hand. Whatever we do, we can stop, creating the karma.
아니 야고신의 밀러 펜도 시아라 소본조야 레 야고 소로 와스. 레 야고 소마토네 동에 용거로 와스.
So we can stop the negative karma by doing the good thing, beneficial thing to others, and that is the good karma will come and will improve, give us the happiness and improve our kind of work. So we need to do that.
Need to make the good karma.
Not all the time it's based on the karma and the result.
No give to hand karma. Our karma change. Now result come ready, our cannot change. Now no yet the result, our have the hand. Everything move changing. That's our hand. That's why need the purification.
In the case that she just mentioned, would it be that if you didn't do anything, like if you didn't act in social justice or environmental or whatever, that it would be bad karma for us if you didn't act?
So, but is it you belong to that system or you just a person?
Was it that your students were wondering why they would act and do something, say, against a system?
Well, the concern is if you think it's the responsibility of the person who's suffering for they're responsible for their suffering, that would not motivate people to work
Right.
on
So in
social.
this case, would it be that if they didn't do anything, it would be bad karma because they're not helping?
So the me to get there, the mission that look there, the later, the touchy chamare. So me the get there, then it machina, the lay chagir.
마시네.
Yeah, and this again there, in young chego the mare.
알레 기요. 알레 콜레 펜도 마지 육샤베나. 다 지당 그런쪽이 베게 지금 레지 연구를 해서 맨날 가서 수수 하고 그거를 미들 펜도 마시베지 육샤베나 땡땡 코라 육샤벨로 두루치베네 까마지 연구요 그래서 레 숙침모 마이네야 레 두고 연구를 해서
Sure, because it also come from the mind when you are responsible for that, and then you throw away like you don't want to take any responsibility to change the situation. Then you know that is a bad situation, but you don't want to bring any benefit. So of course that is already created in your mind. So you create the bad karma.
Yeah.
Yeah. Big or small depend on the it's the situation. Yeah.
So the Buddha is sometimes called the Tathagata, or the one that's transcended all transitoriness. And because you have change, or we live in a world where time is manifest, anything here is transitory. And karma, whether it's good or bad, in theory, leads you back into a transitory world where you live out that karma, whether it's good or bad. So is the goal to generate good karma, or is the goal to generate no karma?
God?
No karma.
Oh, okay. You mean a God?
No karma.
No karma. Okay. So con đọc xong thì cảnh thì sẽ nói tăng tha thì sang chế ít Tathagata thì là vậy Tathagata sẽ nói then thì samsara nó là giống mà đấy. Then thì được nghe kipo thì tên thanh đấy. Nên là số lê cả chế gì nó yang tên thanh nó là đấy. So thì tên thanh thì cả lê sang ba giờ ấy ở samsara nó giống mà.
타미요. 근데 산제르스나 레스야 메버. 레스야 기벨레 미게벨레 레스야 스토가스. 띵한 쪽에 다 상마게 홍델레 디제 레가 지금 상게서선 레를 떼고 메버레. 부들레 레요 말에. 레 다가다 레스야디 삼사라 나로 삼사라 찍고 고고 말다. 지 간다 상마게 퍼도 열다. 되네야 부터 차수나 아니 디 레디 용고 메버레스.
이게 텐트렌데.
텐트레 이네 레 말에.
So he said that is Buddha doesn't have any bad karma, so that's why it's no consequence for that. But in this world that we're living now is called dependent arising. So whatever is happen is have the consequence of it's happen depend on the condition that is we have. So it's all the time create the karma here, but it's still in that dependent arising.
Karma is mostly 남도 연구요 말에 다 나우 잡으시는 연구요 말에서 부터 남도도 매번서 karma 용사 매버래. karma 쓰게 매버래.
So the karma is in this dependent arising condition is come from the Tao come from the superstitious thing that is we created, but Buddha doesn't have that kind of thing to create the karma. So we live in this dependent arising, environment that even karma is still in that dependent arising situation, but not applied to Buddha. This is the samsara.
You talk about good karma and bad karma. What about something that might appear as bad karma, for example, cancer, but you find a way to have positives from it, teaching you to be more empathetic, teaching you to live life fully, to be more in the present moment, things like that. What about things that appear bad, but maybe you can find good in it? Can you talk about that?
다 지단게 레레 마부시 레요 바래. 이네양 네바 이네양 아주 레 tuk자 이네양 페나 동해 주여 이네양 캔스 나자도 유베 이네양 디야 트랜스포르치니야 직 practice 뭐 징지 계획으로 소화 유바레스. 부디즘체나 giving or less and doing so you but
So he said that of course when you have the cancer, for example, his example, then is the consequence of the bad karma. But because during that sickness that you can practice, you can do many things, you can keep a positive mind, and then you may effort to do a lot of benefit things. Then at the same time in that bad karma, you is creating the good karma, you creating, it's positive karma.
When example, there is cancer nabaras. Cancer na same journey dedena, pento kaya mebre, and suffering mo mebres.
So if it, for example, if you have that sickness and then you always, feel sad about that, and you have a kind of all the time melancholy, or all the time it feels like you're not really happy in this life. If you do like that, it doesn't benefit anything.
다 가르스는 젠시제 다른 가 cancer nabaras. 그래서 이 나바든지 다 추켄레니시나 다른 게 cancer 나바듯이 간갈로 안에 겨왕 미게레 가리네 다리디 다바쇼 삼다 지기여 버려. 야데 마이네 다른 게 cancer 나야 되기 안에 찹지제. 심제 신레 단에 숨든데 동해데 마이무시 다른 게 나바되기 리버전데 디치니 간갈로 다바쇼 삼다 거이나 소소 나서 충아. So
you can see that if you have the practice, you understand and you try to practice during that sickness. For example, instead of crying or complaining about about the sickness or feel sad about that, you can think about that. Okay, this is happened. Then I try to be positive on that, or whatever, whoever I can receive that kind of suffering, and I wish whoever had the same kind of suffering, same kind of sickness, I take all of that, it falls on me, and I wish them to release that kind of suffering. That means during the sickness, you still accept your sickness and wish others to release that suffering. So you can see that through that practice, you create a virtue, you create a good mind, you create a good karma, and it can help to release the sickness too.
Then I have the bad karma. Today I look like sick. My old bad karma today I return back. Look like bank borrow the money. Yeah. Today I'm holding return back. Nothing left now. Yeah. Now no have the interest anything.
And also he say that if you practice that way, then even the big problem you can see that lightly, and then you can overcome it. You don't make the problem become bigger, but you suffer less because you have this positive thinking.
That's why our have body sickness, mind, our sickness change everything. Some sickness small, our mind the big problem. Some big problem, in our mind the small suffering. Small? Yeah, small suffering become. Just as a mind very important. That's the training the mind is very good. Training the mind there.
Yeah. Yes.
How does karma deal with ethically ambiguous situations like self-defense or saving the life of a child, but in doing so having to take a life? Those are very ambiguous. In some ways, it could be seen good if you act or don't act. Those are the real hard questions, I guess, when it comes to karma.
So the so sung chập tới nhà số mi sinh đạt sẽ khang mi sinh sung chập mi sinh tăng ha. So nợ bài thì tới nhà số sung chập tới nên mi sinh đã sẽ bài đấy tới nên bu sinh đã càng anh vậy tới nhà mi đi sẽ bài đấy càng là su bu đi sung chập chạy đi lê đục cha rê lê.
Yeah, good question. Sometimes people confuse. Yeah, that's. 다들 아주 개침벌했어. 그러나 소소 송접치하다 미 멍부질에 팬도 여베이나 현다지 쓰고 좋는 양 랑게 셈디 콘로 구군이랑 좀 해버렸어. 파조디기 멍부질은 내준 디 송야고 된다라 디데치고 급디 인구 여버대양 지단게 까마 굿 까마제서요 벨 까마제서 훈이일 지루치나 근데 벨 까마디 more heavy other one let in the last one the 인구 여버렸어. 까마 여다 여버대는 훈이일 캡산 지주치나
So you can see that is the motivation in this kind of action is very important. For example, if you try to do a negative act, but for the benefit of many people, And in your mind, when you do that negative act, but it doesn't come with the anger or hatred to that person, but you can be harmful to that person by saving many people. So your motivation is that to save the life of other people. So you can create the bad karma and good karma together, but it depends on what you're doing. It can determine that it's a strong, heavy bad karma or heavy good karma.
That's your big benefit. Your bad karma is light. Good karma is very heavy. That's the difference. You have bad karma, very light. You have the good motivation, you big benefit. That's why. Sometimes our cannot choice. That's the Buddha's time have the history of many. Karasana, then a ming up just Sanje Gablia, ming up just Tuzinala sword or Roshu Samba, to do Sanje and Buddha Chajure, and Koran Pufas Lapjire, there has a captain race. And the Koran gave music to Allah Jabro, ming up just say thank you to Kuchuna Manya, and Tapshi Chuna Machima. Ninji Kunala, Ming up just 7 could depression with Chado, dealing a concession and Ming up just 7, the uncle Yungumare, Ming up just there, some children savers. In a young Ninji Kunala, the Sabianza, could good come at the top chamber chaser, and then cut a Jawal of Chamber Sav, the Luju.
So there is a real story about this. It's the previous life of the Buddha Sakyamuni. He was a captain in a boat. There were 500 people on the boat, and then there is one really bad guy who planned to kill everyone to steal on the thing on the boat, and the captain understood that, so he thought that I should kill that bad person to save the rest of people in the boat. So but that with the compassion that he commit that action, it's not because he want to kill that bad person, but because he want to save the rest of people on the boat. And then that's why he created bad karma and also good karma. But the good karma is very big because of that thought. So that's why he found a good rebirth.
Also, he thinking these people, if 500 kill the people, they hit big bad karma. I accept that this karma. That's the true thing, the compassion.
His compassion to that bad person, because by killing him, he doesn't have a chance to create his own bad karma, but he will receive the consequence later. So that two things at the same time. Save the rest of people and save him, save the bad person to create his own bad karma. Because he killed many people, he will kill.
That's where he compassion use. Something cannot choice, look like this. No listen there. He tell, no never listen. He cannot choice, then look like this.
Yes. Oh, you first. Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Okay.
question is sort of similar to that, but from my understanding in Tibetan Buddhism, suicide is seen as a very negative, you get bad karma from doing that because it's seen as you're wasting this precious life that you have, where you could be doing more positive, creating more positive karma for yourself, and it's seen as negative. But relating to Tibetans in Tibet who have self-immolated because they're trying to bring awareness to the political situation that is going on in Tibet, would that still be seen as negative because of the action that they're creating? Or would you still have to consider the mindset that they're in? Because also there's in one of Buddha's past lives, he came across a hungry tigress with cubs, and he sacrificed his own life to feed the cubs and the mother. So I was wondering how that would work.
Yeah. Và con làm xong ngày chỉ tặng ngày từ số xe nó để được trả. Các cái đấy. Vì này yang ấy phơi là mi mang bộ thì mẹ thằng khăn chỉ sẽ na thì mẹ là thằng khăn chỉ sẽ na thì lung ba càng em giờ đấy. Nên con số xe bài đấy. Nên mẹ tặng bài đi lấy được trả. Các cái đấy. Nên ngày ngơ ma thì ta nga nên sang chế thì giúp bộ thì chế bài đấy.
That's two kind thing. Ni yobares. Ta pena nganzu khondro tang. Ani chigi nesem tindi ki kunelane ta so me jablo sama yenani le tukja yungu yobare. Thi maing chene ani phe me ma digi. 심제 탐제의 대화용이야. 꾸누 야보지 시권에 안에 두스 삼보 땅바에나니 루부 메라땅한테 개화 차고요 바두스레스.
So he said that there are two kinds, of the result for that. Like if you, like in the example in Tibet, it's people burn themselves for the goals, the good goals for the country, and in that the political situation. But if the person do that, kill himself because of the without anger, without hatred, without anything, but it's without any negativity, but thinking about a good motivation that I'm doing that, I hope that will bring peace, forever happiness to everyone, will bring change the situation in my country. And then if you do that with compassion,
and
then you don't create.
His Holiness bring to the Tibet.
Yeah.
And Tibet net peace.
Yeah. So with the wish,
China, Tibet, everybody peace. That's thinking, doing. That's good karma. That's different motivation. Motivation don't know nobody. This is. Ta 5 days dia sanje kulung kharesana. Ta thogo to ni dile jimba tang parawas. Kulung sangboro mando ta dile kanyesya. Ta amadi ki pugunga sebe hen pugu shire ngabri sebe na ta amadi dikwish sagwe bare. Tata amade togoda pugude jab ta amade jab jin kurang lubdi jibata dusres.
So and another example that you just mentioned about previous life of the Buddha, he gave as a prince, he gave his body to the 5 hungry tiger. So this is the good motivation. This is called the practice of giving and generosity. Because at that time, if he didn't sacrifice his body to the tiger, maybe the mother tiger will eat on the children. Without the mother, then the children is nobody can protect the children. So at that time, he practiced, the giving generosity by feeding the tiger to be able to have that 5 hungry tigers still alive. So this is a good motivation that he destroy his life.
Yeah, that's mother almost their child eat soon. That's where Buddha compassion mother stop the bad karma, and also 5 child also living there. That's where 2 things he said. Yeah,
so we
now
almost have finished the time for the lecture. So what last question? Yeah.
So my question is, do you think the motivation is more important or the results is more important? For example, someone has a very good motivation and he acts on it, but the result is bad. It's actually didn't do good to other people. In other case, like someone do something seems very nice to other people, but his motivation may be very selfish, maybe negative. So which do you think is more important, the motivation or is the result? Like which, towards karma?
Yeah. So the reason kulung pe yak bodu, the ne yang kare chena, the debu yak boyong ba. The mi cheta the lega yak boche. The ne yang kulung uchare. Then the kare the kulung, the king chancery or debu chancery.
Tadi kanyi pena kashi ke kulu yabu chene risol yabu mayongdi ta so lel tigo yorwa kyawangama kashi kulu yabu mene risol yabu yongdi yede bde tongyo dia kyawangame legi debu re mando mezi dige kulu dugja chone debu yabu yongama re debu yabu jinga legi debu dusres.
So he said that is when you have a good motivation, this is you create the karma, good karma for yourself for the now and for the future. So if you, whatever you do, even the result is very good, but if you have a bad motivation, wrong motivation, it's still like you create a bad karma right away for yourself.
And they are working something successful, that's come from people's karma. This no motivation only.
Yeah. So and also the good result happen is not because it's not just only come from your motivation, that example I use yours, the motivation, but maybe also the good karma of other people made the good result happen. But the bad motivation is still the bad karma that person created.
That's right.
Yeah, that's why he said the collective karma.
The karma is so deep, cannot explain, very, very difficult. Only killer, only Buddha see. That's only Buddha. That's why karma is no small subject, it's very big.
So now it's 2:30.
Yeah, that's a good place to end.
Thank you very much. Good question, thank you.
And I have some final announcements. So for those of you who are not from the community, His Eminence is visiting. There are other events going on at Jamtse Choling. So for those of you who want to write it down, JAMTSECHOLING. You can look on the website and there's a schedule of events. And Geshe La is resident at the temple, so there are events ongoing throughout the year for those of you who might be interested. And we have a small a reception in the lounge happening right after this. So if you can, come in and discuss with each other.
First of all, before you leave, we would like to give a kata to Professor Aramin, because by Tibetan tradition, the kata is the good luck and the happiness. So I thank you for organizing the lecture today.
Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and then also she mentioned about Geshe La is a student of Rinpoche. Now he become the resident teacher here after we created the Jamtse Choling in Calgary. So Rinpoche come here once a year or maybe twice a year, but he chose his student like Geshe La to come here, one of the great scholar of Buddhist Monastic University. So like the professor just said that in case that you organize any event, you know, if Rinpoche is here, Rinpoche will come. Otherwise, Geshe La can, give a lecture.
That's why, Shishila, you give to more question, okay?
And then we can have a group picture to remember. Can we have a group picture with Rinpoche today?
Oh, yes.
Can I say something? So you mentioned about the Jamtse Choling Tibetan Buddhist Temple has teachings regularly, and we have special events. We have a special event coming up this Saturday. We have a fundraising event, and this is to help us build a temple here in Calgary. And I have tickets for sale if anybody is interested in attending this event. And Neten Rinpoche will be there, as well as Geshe La will be there, and other honored guests. So if you're interested, I have some tickets.
So I have something to add to the Bonnie. There's from that event, we will have the Vietnamese fashion show with all the very nice dress, and also Tibetan fashion show, and all the Tibetan traditional dance, and famous singer, Tibetan famous singer, he's here. So he will perform at the event. So it's a lot of things in that event. So if you would like, then about that.
Vietnamese and Tibetan food.
Yeah, and Vietnamese and Tibetan food. Yeah.
Okay, so it's all good karma.
So we have a group picture. You want? Yeah.
Okay.
Please come here. We can have a group picture.